That built the team to just a fan a little bit or watching from afar at your quarterback, Mark Brunell, and the strides that he made and the growth that he and the team made in December, in January. I mean, are you excited? Yes, you're his coach, but are you excited to see what he can do in the next year or two?
Very much so. Looking forward to seeing Mark's continued growth and development. And the things that happened this year were exciting and showed the ability that Mark has as a leader, as a quarterback, as a passer, and also has a great ability to run. So we're excited about continuing to build this team around Mark Brunell.
How about Natron Means for a whole season?
Natron really showed his stuff down the stretch with some great plays in the playoffs and has got himself on track. It took a while last year, but now we feel good about Natron, and he and James Stewart give us a nice 1-2 punch.
Well, they're talking football, not the TPC down in Jacksonville. Congratulations, and we'll see you a little bit later.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, Tom, thank you. Tom Coughlin, coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Denver, New England, and Green Bay, and that's all she wrote for round number 1. The Broncos on the clock. Tom might have an observation.
You're born, you go to school, and then one day, things begin to get interesting. Now, instead of preparing, you're doing. The stakes are a lot higher than they were in high school. Because out here, the tests you're given are of your honor, your courage, and your commitment. This is your journey. It's time you got underway. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
He's a 5-time champion. He's $800. What do you think?
Just can't make the decision on my own.
Here, boy. So you can think about it.
Thanks. I really think he's beautiful, honey. What do you think?
You were sent to me.
Okay, remember him? You gotta like one of them.
Polaroid. See what develops.
I'm just glad you were happy.
This is breakfast.
This is something McDonald's made famous.
This is our latest invention. Say good morning to the My Size meal.
Good morning, My Size meal.
Now when you buy any drink, coffee, soft drink, orange juice,
Any size.
and hash browns, you can get one of 4 hot breakfast sandwiches, like this sausage biscuit with egg, for just 55 cents.
55 cents.
Every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 55 cents every day? I promise. That's chicken feed.
This is fast.
I'm Carol Martin, and this is my McDonald's.
STP Son of a Gun Protectant makes vinyl truly shine. Leather more lustrous. And rubber more brilliant and beautiful. It works so well, in fact, some people even use it on cars. Son of a Gun Protectant and Son of a Gun Tire Glaze by STP.
Hey, Dan. What's wrong?
Hey, Grant. Bad show. Hair looked bad, teleprompter went down, made some mistakes on some highlights.
I got something to cheer you up.
Thanks. Thanks, Grant. I appreciate that.
No problem, man.
We are back, and as we look at the great display, the Hall of Fame display, almost, it's a young man by the name of John Elway. Another guy that wore number 7, and he didn't get into debate with us. He throws to a young man named Shannon Sharp these days, tight end Denver Broncos. Truly in the crib with our Sterling Sharp. And Sterling, let's go now to Carolina, which is home for you. Ray Caruth, did you expect him to go this far down in the draft? Is this a great pick for Carolina, or are there some flaws in his game that you kind of spotted looking at film?
I think if there's a thing, Chris, that's called a safe pick, I think Ray Caruth is it because of the fact that they got Muhammad, who can use that big body, and they got Mark Carey that can work the middle of the field. Ray Caruth is going to get an opportunity to do exactly what he did in college, this right here. Great patience in the go route, use his great speed, run the ball down. He doesn't drop any footballs like this because he uses his speed. He understands that nobody's going to have an opportunity to hit him in the face. He uses great quickness, great patience, and all of that, and then using your speed. But I think the most important thing is he doesn't have to worry about taking a big hit over the middle because he'll get an opportunity. The one thing I think Caruth may have to work on is if they have any injuries in Carolina and he has to do work as a wide receiver, use his speed, control his body weight. But I think running back to the ball, running back to the football, using his hands. I think that's the one thing Ray Caruth is going to have to use. And, Chris, if he can get his hands together, I think it's going to be a nice time in Carolina back down at the crib.
All right, Sterling, the pick is in already with Denver, and let's see if they go a young man from Louisville.
With the 28th pick in the draft, the Denver Broncos select Trevor Price, defensive tackle from Clemson.
We're talking about
New England
Sam
is now on the
Madison
clock.
from Louisville to make Tommy happy. But Trevor Price again for Denver, is that a good value pick?
Well, I think in terms of the first round, Chris, I think it is. I think what Trevor Price needs to do is utilize leverage better. And if you say, why did he start to drop? You know, he added some weight, he lost a little speed and quickness, and he played very high at Clemson. Of course, former outside linebacker early in his career at Michigan. You see even here when he makes a play, how high he plays, and then coming out of his stance, getting after the quarterback. And I think he's got to be coached properly to improve his technique. But he does hustle. He is a guy who really likes to play the game of football. He'll give you great effort. He'll work hard to improve in the areas he's deficient. So at least from that standpoint, he's not going to come in thinking he has all the answers. So I like that, but he definitely is a work in progress, Chris, more of a developmental type. So if there's a reason that he did slide, it's because of the fact that he definitely needs pro coaching.
Well, the Broncos have picked a defensive player in the first round, which kind of gets the ears up of our Tom Jackson. And Tommy, they're still kind of shocked over the 13-3 season and just in the playoffs, won and out against Jacksonville. They looked high, far and wide at the film to find out what happened. Was this one of the areas that broke down at the end?
Well, I think that it was easy for the Broncos to address the areas that kept them from winning 2 more football games. They went out and got Neil Smith. They got Tony Jones from Baltimore on their offensive line. I think the expectation as they went into the draft was that they might look to get another covered corner. But now you look at that defensive line right there, and then you add Trevor Price to that line as he is that development in motion. I think they certainly will be able to put a lot of pressure on people up front. And if you don't have another cover guy, and they still may get that later on down the road, at least you're going to get a lot of pressure from the guys up front. That always makes it a little bit easier to cover, Chris.
Well, Neil Smith, just a one-year contract, but yet an exciting one-year contract if you look at it from the Denver Broncos point of view, playing in the same division against the Kansas City Chiefs, who a year before were 13-3. Well, now, Tommy, we're down to the Super Bowl teams, Patriots and Packers. We'll be back.
Sounds pretty good. Can I see the guitar?
You play?
I've been known to.
That's cool. What's your name?
It's on your guitar.
Since 1873, original Coors, pure and simple.
Call it strength.
A world leader in insurance and investment.
Call it expertise.
$450 billion in assets under management.
Call it vision.
Anticipating the opportunities in more than 50 countries.
Call it innovation.
Give clients smarter choices in a changing world.
Call it AXA. Here you know us as the Equitable. AXA, go ahead. You can rely on us.
And so, after 35 years, I return to Russell, Kansas, to my friends and my family, to that very special place where they always called me by my first name. Great lunch. Barb, take a check.
Of course, Bob. Can I see some ID? Driver's license?
Considered the Visa check card? It automatically deducts from your checking account everywhere Visa's accepted. No ID needed. It works like a check, only better.
I just can't win.
Only by going alone in silence can one get into the heart of the wilderness. All other travel is mere dust and hotels and baggage and chatter.
Now we are back at the draft at the theater in New York City. New York and Boston. Doesn't take very long to drive between the two, 3-4 hours perhaps. But the rivalry in sports began a long, long time ago. It began in baseball when the Babe, played, pitched for the Red Sox.